What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite blue guy here. We've all experienced at least one game mode we've liked on the server getting removed for a variety of reasons. Whether it be Sky Clash and Crazy Walls in semi-controversial ways, or whether it be prototype game modes like Battle Royale, Survival Dash, Tower Wars, and even the most recent Invaders. I think most everyone here has gone through the pain of losing a game mode, especially if said player has put many hours of their lives into playing it. While no one likes to see a game mode get removed entirely from the network, sometimes it's just what has to be done. We just saw it happen with Invaders not too long ago, but could we actually see it happen again sooner than we think, and with a much larger game mode? I recently saw an announcement thread the other day regarding a specific game mode, and what I saw has got me thinking about things. Before I go further into what I mean, however, for those that haven't yet, you should totally, absolutely, positively subscribe if you haven't already, especially if you've come to like the content you're watching today. Your subscriptions help me to continue making what I make at a more frequent rate and also allow you to be notified when I pull off special event streams, such as my previous couple where I gave Hypixel ranks out every time I won in Skywars. Don't want to miss something like that again? Make sure you subscribe. Okay, so the game mode I'll be talking about today is the Pit. This is a game mode I've made a couple of videos on before, and if you watch those videos, you may have noticed that while still kinda tame compared to others, I do have some playtime in it. As of the time I'm recording this, a thread called The Pit Emergency Maintenance was posted by Frozen, out of all people, a few days ago. In this simply short but effective thread, Frozen explains that a destructive exploit was found and was being used by many players of the game mode. It was stated that rollbacks would potentially happen and that the game mode was going to go offline for a few days at the very least. To my knowledge, apart from Skyblock, this is the first time I've ever seen an entire game mode at least the size of Pit be shut down for multiple days due to one exploit. That many people in the game mode were using it, and I saw several threads not only advertising its existence, but also just straight up showing how to do it in game. Generally, with the reveal that the game mode was going to come back online in a few days, ultimately returning the day after, I wouldn't really think about the game potentially going away for good. Well, that's what I did think, until I saw the responses to the initial thread. There are these calls for the game mode to be wiped entirely, hard reset, and even the aforementioned being deleted outright. Whereas usually these types of responses would warrant outrage and anger from its players, this movement has actually seemed to gather quite a bit of support from players of the game, some from extremely high level players. I'm very sure a handful of these responses are just jokes, but I've noticed a bigger number of posts actually seeming serious about wanting Pit gone. Some of these responses and some of these clear desires to get the game out of here from its own players have got me thinking about something. Is it something the server would actually ever do? If enough players from a specific game mode came up and demanded the game get removed, would they ever do it? Is there a number out there that exists where they would? This one is kinda hard to answer because I remember when Simon himself made a tweet declaring ranked Skywars would be removed if his tweet got 5,000 likes almost 2 years ago. It got 12,500 likes, and do you see it gone? Got my glasses on, I think it's there. So, I don't know. I think the likelihood of Pit getting removed just because most of the community behind it wants it gone is very unlikely. There are clearly still players that are invested in the game mode and don't want it gone, but I mean the same thing applied to Tower Walls and Crazy Walls and Sky Clash, so honestly, I think anything goes at this point. I think, and this is my honest thoughts, if the server was forced to choose a single game mode, not PTL, to remove the very next day, Pit would likely be the choice they make. I think out of all the game modes that exist on the network, Pit isn't exactly one I'd say has the worst gameplay. In fact, the gameplay element of Pit is quite good if you actually try to play it. To go even further than that, I think Bedwars has far worse gameplay to it than Pit does, if we're going to be absolutely honest here. Even I'll occasionally jump into Pit for a few minutes at a time and see what I can make out of it. Although Pit doesn't have the worst gameplay out of the game modes, it's unfortunately taken the same path that I've seen most of the purely competitive game modes here take. Too much of a toxic atmosphere and their own community slowly destroying the very game mode they love dear to them. Let's be real, no one who really truly wants Pit to survive is going to cheat on it or dupe on it and contribute to it potentially being yeeted even earlier. Well, that's all for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Do you agree with my assessment? Maybe you don't. Leave a comment if you think I missed something. I try to read all comments and I'll usually even reply to some I find really interesting. Don't forget to download my texture pack, Blue Fault. Link can be found in the description. I do hope everyone has a great afternoon, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue, like him inside and outside.